The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the October 1st, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstances of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I am absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, and you should be, well, then any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day once again with a bit of a mixed bag out there. You got the Dow up 10 points. The S&P's down 1. NASDAQ's up 16. Russell's off 1. Tranny's down 60, semis up 45, NASDAQ Composite up 2, New York Stock Exchange up 13 points. Gold is trading out at $39.01. That's up 27 bucks. Silver printing out at $47.58. That's a 94-cent move there to the upside. Lights we crude 61.58. That's down 79 pennies out there. I've got the chart for NVIDIA up on our screen out here. NVIDIA yesterday negated its daily topping pattern, Rhodes momentum indicator top. And what it's also done, it's now generated a consolidation breakout. As long as we close above that consolidation pattern today, we're likely to make a move up towards the 203-ish area. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, on Friday, if price closes above 184.48, the weekly time frame will negate its TD9 count top. That says that NVIDIA continues to move higher. The monthly time frame chart, although it does not have a confirmation on volume, meaning its swing point of an A to B equals CD pattern, that takes you back to June of 2024. Volume there was 5.2 billion shares. When that was passed, it was passed with 3.8, 3.6, 3.6 again. Last month was 3.9 billion. Nonetheless, just because you don't have it confirmed with volume does not mean it's not going to make that move. That move actually takes up to the 216.70-ish type area out there. So NVIDIA is strong like a bull out there. Let's take a look at, you know what I want to do? I'm going to do this here, and then it'll end up freeing up resources in case I only have really one request in the queue out here. But yesterday we did something, and there were some nice comments that I received from that, which was we really took a look at the month end. We looked at the bigger picture out there. So I want to do a similar thing, although it's a bigger picture in taking a look at the equal-weighted ETFs out there. The equal-weighted ETFs for the equity markets typically point the way. This is not the chart that I wanted to put up here. So if you give me a moment, I'll get to that. In fact, we're going to take a look at the three equal-weighted ETFs. We'll look at the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. In essence, what we did yesterday, although yesterday I kind of did all the monthly at one time, all the weekly at one time, all the daily. Now, here's the equal-weighted ETF for the S&P 500. Again, the equal-weighted ETFs typically point the way. You heard for years, the market's only moving higher because of 7 stocks and so on and so forth, and everybody kind of, neglects what's going on underneath the covers here. Well, it's important for us to not do that. Let's start with the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame had a sell the D point top that actually formed in December of 2024, bearish engulfing candle. The high of that pattern was the prior month's high, that high being 188.16. Well, we negated that high out there, 188.16, 2 months ago. We closed above that. There is no monthly topping pattern for the monthly equal-weighted ETF for the S&P 500. It is pointing to higher price. And as long as price remains above, especially that green oscillator change line, because price is already above its the top of its profile, it is uber bullish out there. If we take a look at the weighted equal-weighted ETF for the weekly time frame, here we also do not have any kind of a topping pattern. Here we can also see that price is trading above profile resistance and its green oscillator and change line. It too wants to rally. So what's holding it back? Really not much out here. If we take a look at the daily time frame, there's no topping pattern. Price also remains above the top of its profile at 188.65 and its green oscillator and change line. Price is going to make a move for its all-time high out there. That was from September 11th. That high, 190.54. Volume on that trading day was 19 million shares. Yesterday, we moved up with 13 million shares. So far today, in an hour plus trading, about 4 million shares. So pretty decent volume today out there. So that could be a 13, 14 million share day going into 19 million. But as long as price remains above that 189.61 level, price should rally up towards that level. So here we took a look at the S&P 500. No topping pattern for its daily, weekly, or monthly time frame for the equal weighted ETFs. What does that say to you? That says it's pretty gosh darn strong. Let's go take a look at the QQEW, see what its message of the markets are to us. Let's start with its monthly time frame as well. On a monthly basis, there is no topping signal out here. None. Zero. Zilch. Price remains above the top of its daily profile, 133.89. It's trading above its green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, last week, let me just make sure of this, the high that we were looking at, which was a sell the D point top, that was August 1st, 140.24. Last week, the close was 140.37. It negated that topping pattern. There is no topping pattern for the equal-weighted ETF for the Qs for its monthly or its weekly time frame. And now we take a look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame negated its TD9 count top, and it does that on September 29th out there. No top there as well. No tops on the equal-weighted ETFs for the S&P or the NASDAQ 100. Let's go take a look at the last one that I have, which is the Dow. And this one is a little bit of a booger, so to speak. Now, the monthly time frame is in bullish breakout mode out there. Price remains above the top of its profile, 38.24, and its green oscillator and change line. The weekly time frame has a TD9 count top that is likely to go ahead and confirm on Friday. All it needs to do on Friday is close above the close of bar number 5. That means it closed above 39.61. So that will have a TD9 count top. Now, that topping pattern may go ahead and complete, meaning a higher high, next week, the bar following bar number 9. The daily time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. That formed on September 23rd with that dark cloud cover candle. The volume there was 7,400 shares. Yesterday, we moved up into it with 9,500 shares. When you close inside a swing point with volume, what do? You go up and you test that high. So where is it that EDOW is headed to? It's headed to 40.11 out there. And if it takes that out, if it closes above that, it'll negate that topping signal as well. So the Dow does have a little bit of a top, but I would say the ES Mini and the NQ are the ones that are moving these markets out there. Now, we come back from this break. We're going to go take a look at the seasonal pattern associated with government shutdowns. I was actually working on that individually on my own on charts by taking a look at all the U.S. shutdowns. And I said, hey, maybe the seasonal chart has it. And son of a gun, if it didn't. I wish I had saved that hour. But when we come back from this break, I'm going to show you what the seasonal patterns of U.S. government shutdowns are. It might surprise you. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So when I finished the newsletter this morning, I started saying, okay, we got U.S. government shutdowns. I know we've had quite a few of them. I was going back to the daily charts and trying to identify the different shutdowns that I have out here. A number of different sites have got a list of them. But what basically goes back, looks like it really began in the 1980s out there. So what I then did was went to my seasonal charts. And sure enough, believe it or not, there was an event pattern out there that they had in here. Blew my mind. Didn't even think it was a likely outcome, which is why I started the way that I did start. Well, that red vertical line basically would be today. Okay, now there's, you can see I've just gone back 25 years. My selection for years, it's much easier. I can choose 5, 10, 15, 25, or 97. Well, 97 doesn't make any sense out there, but certainly, and I can put that up and you'll see the difference out there just in case there was something before the 1980s. But here, what this shows us is because the market anticipates, you know, the market shutdown, so the government shutdown, so to speak, and we can see it starts to trade lower. Now, I don't know if we really traded lower for 7 days out there. It shows that even on the day after the shutdown, you could see price move lower inside of the indices. But then what takes place after that? Now, is that because that's when things get resolved? I don't know the answer to that. So that's the one big picture that's not necessarily a part of the seasonal chart out there, but I don't think that they get resolved typically in one day out there. So that would be the so-called, you know, flying the financial ointment. But here's for the S&P 500. We could do it for all different kinds of instruments, but it's really not what I think everybody anticipated. It's not what I anticipated out there. So that's the seasonal pattern associated with government shutdowns. In other words, what I'm suggesting is let's not spend too much time on it. Okay, the event is today. It's going to pass basically tomorrow. We should see these. And why is the market rallying? Well, we know the market's rallying because if you took a look at the equal-weighted ETFs out there, which really point the true direction of the market, we don't have any tops out there. I've got them in a couple different instruments, most certainly. For example, if we take a look at the daily equity future contracts, we'll put those up on our screen for you right here. You'll see that all four of them are trading with inside their TAS market profiles. So no damage here, even though you've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top for the ES, a sell the D point top for the NQ, a wave number 7 top for the Dow equity future contract, no topping signal for the Russell 2000. It's just a consolidation with inside its profile out there. So just a market that's just kind of chugging, if you will, just a so even though we've got a couple of those tops, price found support at the bottom of their profiles out there. So that is a strong market. All right, so now let's get into the first. Well, actually, what I wanted to do, I think the first instrument I'm going to pull up, it was really from yesterday. It was Nike. We took a look at Nike, and the question was, how is Nike? Was there any kind of a signal as to how Nike might trade because they came out with earnings last night? And I'm pretty sure we said, hey, you've got a TD9 count bottom pattern. You had a hammer candle that followed on September 26th, and that price should rally up towards its oscillator and change line or the bottom of its profile. I would be pretty sure if we replayed yesterday's show, that's what I would have said. And it did more than that, right? What it did was it gapped up, in essence, right into the bottom of that profile and traded all the way up into its TD9 count breakdown resistance level, 74.28. So if and the TD9 count pattern is easy to understand, it's easy to calculate. Each of you can do that. I teach that to you. Just sign up for Mastering Probability. Even if you only do it for 29 days, it costs you nothing. You're going to get a education of a lifetime out there. So that's basically with regard to Nike. What else do we see out here? So the weekly time frame chart, because prices trade above that red oscillator and change line, does it close above that on Friday? I don't know. If it does not close above it on Friday, that's telling you we're headed to 66.51. And if it does close above it, it says you could have more rally. But the only way you're going to get more rally is a daily would have to close above 74.28. That is its TD9 count breakdown resistance level. And if that unfolds, we should head back to its most recent highs from back in August, the August highs out there. That would be at about the 80.17 level out there. And you can see profile resistance for the monthly time frame is at 82.44. But right now, it's just a bit of a counter trend move, if you will. At this stage, it's been a nice move, but right up into TD9 count breakdown resistance. All right, so now let's go on to the actual requests that have come in. Those were really more for me than they were for you. Well, the equal weighted, I think, was really for you as well out there. Just complimented what we took a look at yesterday with regard to the indices out here. Now, ELO wants to take a look at EOSC. Well, that's not it. Where did I put that? Son of a gun. I'm pretty sure I had that in here, but we're going to put it in right now, just so I don't get too out of line, or maybe I put something somewhere else. So EOSC is a ticker symbol. This is going to take just a moment to populate. When I say a moment, I'm talking about 13, 14 seconds. Yeah, we're talking about some baseball inside the Tigers' den. Pretty extraordinary games last night. And the one that I really wanted to see the Tiger game, which was glad that it ended the way that it did. But it was the Yankee game. That was actually, I even watched some of the LA game last night. But that Yankee game was pretty incredible, right? With the Yankees getting the bases loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the ninth out there, and they couldn't score a run. And so the New York crowd can't be too happy. First, you've got the Ryder Cup. They go home with the disappointment there. Are they going to go home with the disappointment today? Because I think it's just a best of 3 series out there. So anyways, EOSC. Let's get into this. This is for ELO. Daily time frame. You've negated, or in the process of negating, a daily TD9 count top. So daily time frame is all out bullish out there. Weekly time frame also all out bullish. Trade above profile resistance. It's oscillator and change line, no topping pattern. The same is true for the monthly time frame. So where the Sam heck is this headed to? That's a great question. I asked it. Do I have the answer? I don't, but let me see if I can try to come up with an answer out here. Jeez. So I think the best thing to do is take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern. We have likely exceeded the 1-to-1 level. We're going to start this thing all the way back here with that wave number 7 bottom. You got to grab the right tool, Stevie. We'll start with that low. By the way, that low is May 10th. We'll take that up to its TD9 count top on January 24th. I'm just simply going to move the A to B equals C to, yeah, so we're well above the 1-to-1 area out there. So what you'd be looking for on a daily time frame is a bearish reversal candle to identify a top. That would also generate a Rhodes momentum indicator top. So at this stage here, EOSC should rally further. ELO, daily, weekly, and monthly time frame are supporting that move higher. Sharky wants to take a look at Jabba the Hutt out here. HUT is a ticker symbol. And this is trading out right now at $37.23 out there. It does have a daily TD9 count top. And it would appear that because price is trading above its green oscillator and change line, that level, and as long as price remains above this is 37.06, then price should go target its TD9 count its sell zone. And that sell zone is between 37.53 and 38.50. Hey, how about that? Again, a call here from Monterey, California. I wonder if it's the club saying, come back and play. So we got resistance in that 37.55, 38.50 level out there. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, I do not see any kind of a topping pattern out here. So it's just the daily, and I do not see any kind of a topping pattern on the monthly chart, as last month price negated a TD9 count top. So this does want to rally further. The question is, can it get through its sell zone area? More important than that, can it close above its TD9 count topping pattern? That's at 39.47. If Hutt closes above that, you're off to the races. Those races say over time. This wants to take you up towards that 65.60 level. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back to this break. We'll look at BGZ, NGD, Eli Lilly, AES, and Mara, and anything else that was requested. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. So no voicemail left by that phone call from Monterey out there. So it must have been one of those calls we didn't want to get. Let's see here. So let me just see where I left off. I know where I left off. I'm trying to find out where did I put VGZ out here. That's not it. That's Hecla. It's way down. So maybe VGZ is here. No, that's Apple. Son of a gun. It's usually not this hard. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so this for Sharky, who's got about a couple of instruments to take a look at. VGZ. So we take a look at this instrument. It negated a TD9 count top. Probably, let me just pull this back, as a sell the D point pattern. It most certainly does. So it did form a sell the D point top. It did it with this bearish engulfing candle on September 22nd. It did with a star cloud cover on September 16th. So the real resistance level for VGZ is going to be the high of the pattern, and that's at 246. That's where price needs to close above in order to suggest that this thing wants to continue its rally. So you got to sell the D point top with price consolidating with inside its profile. It is explored, tested, and rejected its buy zone. The buy zone is between 192 and 202. And the sell zone is 235, the top of its profile. But really, it's really more established by the high from September 15th out there, basically, in essence, the high of the dark cloud cover candle set. On a weekly time frame, the weekly time frame shows us that we have a confirmed wave number 7 top out there. That's the letter G that you see. Price should pull back towards $168. That hasn't unfolded just yet because price has found support in that buy zone on the daily time frame. The monthly chart is looking good out there, so no topping signal at all. So it's really just the daily time frame out there, Sharky, that you want to be concerned with. Just pay attention to those profile levels out there. Maybe this is going to consolidate further for you. Let's go, which probably not what you want, but that's what it's likely to do. Let's go take a look at NGD, see what this is doing, what this is trading at. NGD right now trading out at $7.22. Now, on a weekly time frame, this is going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top this week. It'll complete that pattern next week. Is this week the top? Doesn't appear to be so because the daily time frame does not have a topping pattern. Price remains above the top of its profile and its green oscillator and change line. Now, the monthly time frame, we just began the month, so October is likely going to become bar number 8 of a TD9 count. That says you could get a TD9 count top between October and December out there. So it's the weekly. Pay attention to the daily, Sharky. If you did get a bearish reversal candle and a close below its oscillator and change line, that would, and the oscillator and change line right now is printed at 713. Then that would tell us that the weekly is going to pull back to its oscillator and change line, and that would be at 636. So I hope that helps you out. As always, thanks so much for your request. Mr. Bill wants to take a look at Eli Lilly. LLY is the ticker symbol. Eli Lilly is trading out at $812.45. It's having a heck of a move. In fact, what it's triggering today is an A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. The daily swing point was September 17th, 3.4 million shares that day. In 2 hours of trading, 3.9 million shares. There's your confirmed A to B equals CD pattern out here. Let's go ahead and draw this in. Let's do the old copy and paste. And then we can assemble, and now we'll assemble this sucker, and that's going to go ahead and give us a price projection of about $866.17 or thereabouts. So that's with the daily. Now, the daily has also triggered a wave number 7 top out there. What that says is that if you were to get a lower high, that's going to confirm that topping signal, and you could see price pull back to the top of its daily profile. It's a profile that formed yesterday, and that would be at 763.35 out there. So that's a possibility. But I think the daily A to B equals CD is going to have more of the oomph than the wave number 7 signal. The weekly time frame shows that price is back inside its profile, and it may be targeting its sell zone. Its sell zone is between 858 and 883 out there. That gets us into that A to B equals CD price target for the daily time frame. On a monthly basis out here, Mr. Bill, what we see is a TD9 count top with price finding support at the bottom of its profile. It may have also created a monthly Gartley buy pattern. Let's go check that out. Now, there's our A to B line. I am assuming that the retracement from B to C was a less than 0.786 retracement. That's what it looks like. So you can see you had an A to B equals CD A to B equals CD pattern that then created a Gartley buy pattern for Eli Lilly the month of June. That was a bullish engulfing candle. Now what price is doing is taking on its sell zone. So it could be a bumpy ride in the sell zone, which is between 804.32 and 844.77. So I hope that gave the information you were looking for, Mr. Bill. As always, thanks so much for your request out there. Duncan Steve wants to take a look at ticker symbol AES. Let's pull that up on our screen, see what we're doing here. AES having one heck of a day out there. So I want to go to the larger term time frame first. Monthly time frame, TD9 count bottom pattern. Price closed above the top of its it's actually a slightly bearish structured profile. So right now we've got price that is gapped up into that potential resistance point, which happens to be $15.09. And as long as price can remain above $15.09, that would be a bullish outcome. That would then assist the weekly time frame chart. The weekly time frame chart is triggered an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Forms a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. That's now turned in there, or is turning into an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Here we're going to go ahead and cut, paste, and assemble as well. And we'll move that over to the low that forms after that B point. That would have been the trading session, or the trading week, I should say, of September 19th. The 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern gets you up towards 1696. Now, the volume on the B point is 54 million shares. So far for the week, we've done 50 million shares, and we're only at Wednesday. So you've got an AES confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside, Duncan, for its weekly time frame. Well, if you got it for the weekly, you probably have it for the daily. The swing point out here would have been the trading day of July 23rd. That had volume of 9 million shares. So far today, you're at 35 million shares. So AES is running higher out there, 1696 being a potential price target out there. Prices trade on the left-hand side of that C to D leg. That suggests more than a one-to-one move. Dunk, you also want to take a look at ticker symbol MARA. Let's go take a look at it. MARA. AES wondered if it has 20-ish 52-week high in it. Let me go back and what's the A to B equals CD? The A to B equals CD, 7. Does it have 20? Yeah, a 2030, I would say, would be a price target. That happens to be the monthly TD9 count breakdown resistance level out there. But first, you got to contend with the A to B equals CD pattern that's out there and anything that forms after that. Let's go on and take a look at MARA. This is printing out right now at $18.84. It's a consolidation inside its monthly time frame. That's between 985 and 3140. On a weekly time frame, what price did was it found resistance at a TD9 count breakdown area. That was at 1958. Pulled that was also a sell the D point top, Three River Evening Star candle formation. Takes price right back to its buy zone, which was tested and held. It was tested for about 4, 5, 6 weeks out there. That zone was between 1429 and 1509. Resistance, it's trading above profile resistance, so it's going to go tackle 1958 once again. The key level that this needs to overcome in order to get really bullish on the weekly time frame is 2150. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to finish taking a look at Mara. This is for Duncan Steve in the Tiger's Den. Now, Duncan, I think, posted something like a Fresca in there. I think that was in the post. Somebody did. Don't know where that came from out there, but that was a soda. I don't drink much soda. But that was, in fact, I didn't call it soda. If you grew up in Michigan, you called it pop. And so as a kid, I used to drink that because I love grapefruit. I like citrusy type things. And my recollection is that's kind of a grapefruity thing. But also, and so while I was walking around the streets of Detroit, we were in old areas out there. It was kind of cool to see all the different old signs. One of the signs was for Squirt, which is kind of the opposite of Fresca, right? I think that's got, I don't remember exactly, but I used to drink that as well. Now that we'd add a little bit of vodka to it. And then, but the coolest drink from Detroit would be Werner's. Most people aren't familiar with Werner's. It's a version of ginger ale, but it doesn't taste like ginger ale. I've taken people to different restaurants and they've said, I want a ginger ale. They order a ginger ale, they get Werner's. I taste it, they say, man, this is flat. They send it back, they order another one, and then I realize what they're actually doing out there because Werner's does taste kind of flattish, so to speak. In any event, back to Mara. So we took a look at the monthly and the weekly time frame out here, but if we take a look at the daily time frame, the issue that you're dealing with is its TD9 count top, and that went ahead and formed on September 18th. That swing point has volume of 83 million shares. We've tested so far and rejected that high being 1922, but we've done it with volume so far of 32 million shares. So you've got volume moving into this thing today. Again, it's 83 million. If the volume keeps up, you should be up and test that high again, if not take it out. That is at 1922. That is the key resistance level for Mara in order for it to continue its rally to the upside. Yvonne writes in, wants to take a look at Hecla. HL is a ticker symbol there. Her question is to is to hold or sell. And she is sitting on free shares out there. So What I want to do to really try to answer that question for you, Yvonne, is first take a look at the monthly time frame. And what do we know about the monthly time frame? The monthly time frame has got no topping pattern whatsoever. In fact, there's a nice A to B equals CD pattern to the upside out there. We can go ahead and type that in here. Give me a moment. We're going to put in the A to B level. The A point is starting the month of May of 2019 out there. And the B point out here is going to be the month of June of 2021. I'm just going to move this line over to the C point of this pattern, and you can see we're above the 1-to-1 level out there. That doesn't mean that it's a sell or anything. It just says if we did get a bearish reversal candle, we would expect some type of retracement out there. But right now, the monthly time frame is simply all out bullish. The weekly time frame, like many of the gold stocks, says could be a time to be careful. Why? Because on a weekly time frame, Hecla, as an example, is going to go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top. Now, unless we see a top on the daily time frame out here, maybe this week is not the top. In fact, that would be suggesting that the TD9 count top wouldn't take hold probably until next week. Now, it's only Wednesday, so we'll just have to see how the next couple of days trade. But as we look to the daily time frame, what we don't see here is a topping pattern. What we do see here is that yesterday negated its TD9 count top by closing above the September 15th high at 1190 out there. So you do not have a topping pattern for the daily time frame. That makes me say at this stage here that the high for Hecla is certainly not today with regard to its TD9 count topping pattern for its weekly time frame out there. So if you're asking me to hold or sell, look, you've had a heck of a run. Can this pull back? Yeah, but has it broken any levels of support? Even the TD9 count top for its daily time frame only took price right back to its buy zone, 1066 and 1115 out there. You got free shares at this stage here. I'd say the charts at this moment in time for Hecla are saying let it run. Let's go take a look at Apple for John inside the Tiger's Den. Apple is trading out right now at $255.99. Now, Apple, let's start with the longer term time frame. Monthly chart is trading into a TD9 count Rhodes momentum indicator top from December of 2024. Volume there, 977 million shares. We closed inside that last month with 1.2 billion shares. You know the game. If you close inside a swing point with volume, what has Obi-Wan taught us? You're going to go test the high. So the monthly chart says Apple's headed to 260.10. The weekly time frame chart is going to go ahead and form bar number 9 of a TD9 count top today, while price is trading into its swing point from the week of December 27th. That swing point had volume of 133 million shares. We closed inside that swing point last week with 309 million shares, 309 going into 133, even though it's a holiday seasonal time period. That says it wants to go test the high as well, 260.10. So far, all we've gotten up to is 258.79. The daily time frame, yesterday, 4 days ago, the trading day of September 26, formed a TD9 count top. That is being tested as we speak right now. 46 million shares traded that day. So far today, Apple's up with 18 million shares, so it's about a 35 million share day going into about a day of 46 million shares. Nonetheless, if price is able to close above 257.60, you will negate the daily TD9 count top out there. But if it holds, then you're going to have a daily TD9 count top, a weekly TD9 count top, and a monthly TD9 count top that is still in place. But volume is suggesting that Apple should get back up to that high. So that's how we're calling it right now, John. Watch today's action, though. Does price close above that TD9 count top? If it doesn't, and if it closes below screen oscillator and change line, it might be we might be having a short pit stop before we get up to those highs out there. So hope that helps you out. Nitram wants to take like KSS. KSS right now is trading out at $15.60 on a daily time frame. This is trading below profile support. Has been for about 5 days. So you've got a bearish profile change, a change in a profile. You've got a bearish signal from the as far as profiles are concerned. Don't worry, I'll spit it out. And if we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, what we don't see here is any kind of a topping pattern, really, whatsoever. You're trading above profile resistance. You're trading above its green oscillator and change line. That's bullish. Monthly time frame chart for KISS, also bullish here as we're trading above the top of its profile at 1124. So the daily is saying at this stage here, I don't know if it's saying it want lower price or not. I don't have a good read on the daily time frame. We're beginning to trade above yesterday's high out there. See if we do that for a couple of days. It may just be a 2-day rally out there with regard to KSS. I wish I could provide you with better information than that, Nitram, but that's what I've got. So hope that helps you out. ELO wants to take a look at ticker symbol VALE. I never know how to properly pronounce that, Valley. But what we can say is it's trading out right now at $10.94. So let's go to the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame trading inside a bullish structured profile, trading above the center of that, suggests it wants to run to 1205. Weekly time frame has a TD9 count topping pattern that will go ahead and form today. It will complete next Friday out there. Price above profile resistance, it's oscillating and change line, may be targeting the TD9 count breakdown level. That's at 1132. Now to the daily time frame. The daily time frame has a TD9 count top that went ahead and formed and completed on September 17th, right at the top of its profile at 1101. It has a Rhodes momentum indicator top that formed on September 23rd. That's the one that is more important, only because that's the real resistance level that VALE needs to close above, that being 1106, for it to get its mojo to the upside. So you got a top on the daily, you're going to get a weekly TD9 count top, and so the monthly will take its P's and Q's from the daily and the weekly time frame out there. This could be suggesting a pullback towards 1031. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. My goodness, we got through all of those requests out there. That was a beautiful thing. I'll see if I've missed or overlooked anything. If not, we'll find something to look at. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the intraday charts here for the ES Mini. The upper left-hand panel is the daily time frame. And as you can see, price it's actually trading above the top of its daily profile, and that's at the 67.43 level out there. So as we approach resistance, what we look for are topping signals from intraday charts out there. Well, at this stage here now, I don't know where the ES Mini is going to close at 2 p.m., but if it does close above 67.36, and we're trading right now at 67.45, what it will trigger for the 4-hour time frame chart is an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. That suggests we get to 67.91. Hold your horses. We can't get to 67.91 until we clear the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there, which requires a close above 67.56.75. Because we're trading above profile resistance, it looks to me like, and because we don't really have any topping patterns other than a 15-minute TD9 count top that's going to complete at 12 noon. Now, maybe that's telling us about a short-term retracement back towards 67.32. But watch the high of the day on that, because if we start trading above that in a 15-minute time frame, says we got a strong momentum move to the upside. Again, that's likely then going to take us to test at least that high, the high from the trading day of September 22nd again, 67.56.75. Now, if we close above that, then 67.91.75 is the number. Let's see if I can get the NQ charts here to populate before we go to a break. Remember, we started yesterday looking at the monthly, weekly, and daily time frame charts for the indices out there. We didn't see a whole lot of tops. Today, we went ahead and took a look at the daily, weekly, monthly time frame for the equal weighted ETF for the S&P, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow. Here we take a look at the 15-minute charts here for the NQ, also a TD9 count topping signal. Now, its first level of support is going to be the profile level that is trading above right now at 24,920, and below that around 24,881. But I don't see now the 4-hour chart here for the ES Mini is just simply trading into its TD9 count top. It needs to clear the price level of 24,975.50 to trigger a similar A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. Thanks for joining me on Wonderful Wednesday. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Terrific Thursday. Take care and have a great day.